Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. So I hope you can see my screen now.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So nowadays, I hope you have seen this news many times that about Pegasus spyware. Okay. So let's see that what is it and how this attack takes place. So we have to know it and we have to have some idea about this Pegasus spyware. So let's discuss about this. So Pegasus is developed by NSO Group. Pegasus is developed by NSO Group. If you go through the history, then it will you'll know that this been started. I think about before this 2019. I think around 2000 something. Exact date I forgot, but now recently its attack is been very dangerous. Many means what I can say, not just the Indian peoples. Its attacks took place all about all over the world. So this is being developed by NSO Group, and you can consider it as the most powerful spyware ever created. And it mainly targets our smartphones. It is designed to infiltrate the smartphone, either it may be Android or your iOS. And when it attack, then it will turn them into surveillance devices. I hope I have already means discussed about this spyware part. Did I? In some of my previous lectures, I think I have discussed about spyware. So anyway, spyware is what? A kind of malicious software. It is designed to enter your computer device and gather your data and forward it to a third party without your consent. So that is a simple definition of spyware. You can just consider it as a kind of malicious software which enters your device and which will collect your data, and then it will forward that data to someone else. But you will not have any idea about that. That is the spyware. So this Pegasus software is also a kind of spyware. You will not have any idea about this software that is being installed and that is being actually recording everything, or you can say that that is collecting the data without your consent, and ultimately it will just forward or leak those data. Now, if you go through the Indian Express news on this particular Pegasus software, you will have very good information about this. They have depicted it pictorially. You can see this. First of all, what is Pegasus? Built and marketed by Israeli company NSO. This is a spyware that infects devices and spies on the victims by transferring data to a master server in an unauthorized manner. The company claims to sell it only to what? Vetted foreign governments worldwide. So it is very, very dangerous. You will not have any idea about that your data is being stolen and being dealt or being going to be sold to someone else from different country. Okay. So then next thing you should know that how does it work? You tell me whenever you install any app, I think at the beginning it will ask you for few permissions. Suppose it will ask you, say, allow the camera to means allow that particular app to have access to camera, to have access to your voice recording or to gallery, to suppose your doc files or to your file folders like that. Have you noticed that?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And as far I know that many times without noticing that we just click yes, yes, yes. We just click allow, 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 right? We just allow it to access the gallery. We just allow it to access our camera or voice recorder or our file folders. But we are not bothering about that. Yes or no? Many times we just click yeah, allow or not. You also did it, I think.
Yes, sir.
So that is where actually this Pegasus part means takes part or takes into act. It is whenever you click the allow button to some those type of apps, at that time or at that very moment, it is being installed to your device without your notice or without you have no idea about that particular chunk of code being installed to your device. Okay, many times also whenever the app asks for say upgradation, update, you need to update it. Then also you just click allow, and at that time also this Pegasus software being installed to your device. In that way, it actually works. So Pegasus, in the very basic form, can infect devices that are connected to the internet. Some updated versions, experts claim that can also impact phones even without the victim clicking on any links or messages. Okay, so there are some updated versions where you can see that you are not clicking on any link or you are not going for any updates and still it is being installed. So, and research is going on, but up to now, what we can say that we should be very much aware with those apps or with those permissions that we are granting for some unknown apps, because these attacks being taken place through those apps. Most spyware and stowaway apps disguise themselves as anti-theft applications that can be used to track stolen or store lost devices, while viruses and malware can be detected by any antivirus software. Spyware and stowaway apps disguise themselves as useful and send out stolen data to central servers without the knowledge. You got it. Okay. So next thing, that how does it infect a device? So for spyware apps, the easiest method is to disguise the spying code inside the unauthorized version of the premium apps. On the other hand, stowaway apps seek explicit permissions at the time of their installation, the very idea that I have just cited. Such stowaway applications, once installed, hide themselves in the background from where they continue functioning. Similarly, Pegasus infects phones and computers of victims either through vulnerabilities in most commonly used apps such as WhatsApp, iMessage, or SMS. The software tries to gain root privileges so that they can become the device administrator. So this part is very dangerous. That it is okay that it is means hiding and it is collecting information, but as soon as it will get the root privilege, then what will happen? It will just control you. It will not allow you to do anything or any operation without the permission from them, from their side. Okay, that is the most crucial part. Then what happens afterwards? Of course, you can have idea that what will happen when when all of your data, when all of your important information being collected by someone from outside, and in the cases when they are going to deal or they are going to sell this data to some, if you are a very big personality, or if you are from suppose government size, or if you are some suppose minister, that in that case you can understand the main situation, right? So what happens afterwards? The software can, based on instruction from a remote server, automatically turn on the camera and the microphone and look into chats, contacts, data backup. It can also record speech, access the calendar, and read SMSs and emails. The spyware software can continue sending signals to the controlling server till the time it is being deleted. Oh, sorry, detected. So this is overall what is Pegasus. I have collected this information from Indian Express. Although I hope that you get a basic idea about what is this, and you can understand that you can have an idea that if suppose a very big personality like PM of our nation device, any device, or either his phone or his device being attacked by this software, then what will be the means impact of that? Can you understand that? Or can you means analyze that what would happen next? So
Yes, sir.
yes. So next thing that I can say that users have a proper analysis of this Pegasus. I just give you a brief overview, but still, I think you should be in touch with those very good news agencies or those research works that is being published with respect to this Pegasus spyware. Then coming to the next question of today, that is what is port scanning? So port scanning क्या है? I hope now, up to now, I have discussed about what is port and what are the major ports that you should have. You should know about their port numbers, right? Like just I think 2 days back, I asked you to go to the port number 21. Can you tell me why this port 20 or what is the task of this port number 21? You have already gone through it. Port 21 हम क्यों यूज करते हैं? Listen, sir.
For making the bridge.
Making the
For creating the
connection, and it is related to
FTP.
FTP.
Okay, please don't forget it. So now next thing is that what is port scanning? Port scanning is the technique used to identify open ports and service available on a host. Hackers use port scanning to find information that can be helpful to exploit vulnerabilities. Administrators use port scanning to verify the security policies of the network. And some of the common port scanning techniques are ping scan, TCP half open, TCP connect. So what does it mean? What we mean to say through these lines? So port scanning क्या है? First of all, आपका जो ports हैं, open ports means those ports which may be connected. Okay, and if it is being connected, of course, what you can do next? You can establish a connection and you can send some data to there, right? Or whatever the service available with respect to that particular port. Yes or no? So if the hacker will be able to identify that what are the open ports, then it can also able to have access on them. And when it gets the access, then next thing, it will just attack through those open ports, right? So port scanning is to verify the security policies of this network, of these open ports, that we need to find out that these are the open ports and what will be the policies we have to keep so that this type of attacks will never occur. Now, important port scanning techniques that I have cited is ping scan, TCP half open, and TCP connect. Now, you tell me, ping command is a very popular command. Why we use this? Ping command हम क्यों यूज करते हैं? Anyone? Hello? Ping command, we use it. You got it in, I think, your computer network paper. Okay, so this is the first question for you. You will answer through comment that what is ping command and why you use this. Is my question clear to you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, two more techniques here started. They stated that UDP and stealth scanning, but you just go through this ping command and let me know about that. The next question I'm coming to the OSI model. OSI model you have gone through many times, but the question is that in which layer of the OSI model we deal with the security part? In which layer of this OSI model we deal with the security implementation part? Any idea about this? You know, physical layer, data link layer, network layer, transport layer, session layer, presentation layer, application layer, physical layer, physical connectivity, data link layer, then network layer, then transport, TCP IP. I hope you heard about it. Then session, where time duration is there, presentation, how that will be presented, the formats, then application layer, the uppermost layer where we got this information. Now, my second question to all of you that which layer works on this part, on the security implementation part? So let's have a brief overview of these layers. Physical layer, you know, responsible for transmission of digital data from sender to receiver through communication. Media, data link layer, what it acts, what it does is the handles the movement of data to and from physical link, and it is responsible for very important part, that is encoding and decoding of data bits. What? Encoding and decoding of data bits. Then network layer is what? Which works on the network, that is packet forwarding and packet receiving. Okay, so network layer deals with one important activity that is known as routing. Then transport layer, as I have said about the TCP/IP, so it works on the end-to-end connection over this network. It spills the data from the above layer. Above layer means what? Session layer, and passes it to the network layer, and then ensures that all data has successfully reached at the receiver side. Then we have this session layer. Session layer controls connection between the sender and the receiver. It is responsible for starting, ending, and managing the session, and establishing, maintaining, and synchronizing interaction between the sender and the receiver. But in short, you just understand that the session layer is dealt with what? The time, duration, or the session part. And then presentation layer is the layer which actually presenting the data in a proper format and data structure instead of sending it to raw datagrams or package. Then application layer is the uppermost layer. Whenever you work, suppose I'm working with this Google Doc, so I'm working directly to this layer. Okay, so application layer provides an interface between the application and the network. It focuses on process to process communication and provides a communication interface. So this is a brief overview of different layers in OSI model. Now, next question that I have cited, that is today's second question, is that you need to find out that which layer of OSI model is directly related to the security implementation part. Is my question clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then VPN. We have discussed this many times. VPN means what? Virtual private network. Okay. There, I think, in my few lectures, I talk about that IP address masking, right? So there we try to hide our own IP address. Okay, we are not revealing our own IP address. Instead of that, we are revealing a virtual one. So that is the idea based on which this VPN works. Almost all cybersecurity interview questions, you will find this question. Okay, this is very important. So VPN stands for Virtual Private Network. It is used to create a safe and encrypted connection When you use a VPN, the data from the client is sent to a point in the VPN where it is encrypted and then sent through the internet to another point. At this point, data is decrypted and sent to the server. When the server sends a response, the response is sent to a point in the VPN where it is encrypted, and this encrypted data is sent to another point in the VPN where it is decrypted. So finally, decrypted data is sent to the client. The whole point of using a VPN is to ensure encrypted data transfer. And about the encryption and decryption part, we have discussed many times about it. So you just understand about the VPN is that suppose some informations are very confidential, like your banking transaction. Okay, this is SBI server and this is your device. So you are using your internet to have this communication, but internet being the public network is not safe. So in that case, we use the VPN. Okay, that has been designed by that particular bank. So VPN will encrypt your data that is being shared through that particular network. And as soon as it reaches the final receiver side, it will be decrypted. And sometimes this is one idea. And next idea is that sometimes whenever you are trying to access some website, you try to hide your own IP address. That is known as IP address masking. Then in that case, the VPN will not allow outsiders to locate your actual IP address. Instead of that, it will show a virtual one. That is one more example of VPN. Okay, so I hope that the idea about VPN is clear to everybody. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, three terms that we usually find in our cybersecurity paper, that is risks, vulnerability, and threat. From your side, I would like to know that what is the similarity between these three terms and what are the difference that exists among these three terms. So risks, vulnerability, and threat. इनके बीच क्या similarity है और इनके बीच क्या difference है? Can you tell me, anybody of you? তোমালোকে যি বুজা হেতু ক'ব বিচৰা ক'ব পাৰা ৰিস্ক ভালনাৰেবিলিটি আৰু থ্ৰেট এগিটাৰ মাজত কি ডিফাৰেন্স বা কি সিমিলাৰিটি আছে Okay, let me discuss it from my side then. So threat means what? Someone with the potential to harm your system or organization. Okay, someone may potentially harm your system, that becomes a threat to you. Then vulnerability means what? Weakness. Okay, vulnerability means what? Weakness in a system that can be exploited by a potential hacker. Your system has some weakness, weak point, and that will be exploited by some external hacker. Then that weakness will become a vulnerability. Okay, risk means what? Because of that vulnerability, then what would happen? You may lose some important information, then that will become a risk. So risk is what? Potential for loss or damage when the threat exploits a vulnerability. So when we try to relate this term, three terms, then threat is happening earlier, means that the first threat would happen, and because of threat, what will happen? Vulnerability, right? And because of that vulnerability, what we will have next as risks. So in that way, we can relate these three terms: risks, vulnerability, and threat. Is that clear to you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So as a last question, I would like to ask that what are the risks of this Pegasus software we have just discussed into this very beginning of the class? Okay. So that's it for today.